instead of
Okay,
just trying to
running a
hide
meeting
things.
here. Can we stop?
Sure.
You want to go out there and talk? Whatever.
Sure. Let's go out there. Let's go out there and chat. Got all kinds of backup showing up. Did he call these? No?
I'm going to handle this. I'm not going to do it this way.
I'm talking to your chief. I don't need your help.
Well, he can stay.
Oh, really? Do you need help?
No, he can stay. He works for me now.
Okay.
We're going to handle this. I've already handled it.
You've already handled it. How?
She's got my email.
Right.
I sent her an email, set up an appointment.
Okay.
She was satisfied with that.
I'm not, though, Chief. I'm not satisfied with the fact that it took a woman confronting you. It took me confronting you in this city hall room.
There are a lot of
on
things
behalf of that other woman.
Mm-hmm.
How many of those other parents have you actually had contact with?
I'm not getting into that.
None, right? Okay. That's the only parent you've had contact with. And the only reason you had contact with that parent was because I forced you into it. God damn it, Chief, do a better job. Your people deserve better.
Okay. Are we done?
I expect you to reach out to every single one of those parents over the course of the next week. And I'm going to be doing my own follow-up investigation to find out if you have.
Okay. Are we done?
Yeah, we're done. You're dismissed.
So are you.
Love you, baby. You're beautiful.
A couple of years, things may change when all the kids grow up and start wearing ties and going to the polls.
You ever have that feeling where you're not sure if you're awake or still dreaming?
That concludes our action items. We'll move on to public comment. We have a number of people who have signed up. I'll remind everybody that they have a 4-minute time limit. And with this many people, we want to make sure everybody gets their time. So please time your comments accordingly. The first one we have is Topeka Zala Coffee. Is it Zola Coffee? Zola Coffee, thank you. I know that. Oh, my.
Good evening. Good evening. As I said, my name is Topeka Zala Coffee, and I'm here on behalf of some concerned parents regarding the police department and admin at USD 501. First of all, let me say my sincere condolences to one of our youth that we lost in the past couple of weeks, Kingston Scott. To his family, my sincere condolences, and I'm in no way trying to impede this investigation or not get justice for the baby. However, the things that happened on December 8th at Topeka High School were totally, in my opinion, how do I put it? Sloppy, unprofessional, disrespectful to the parents involved. On December 8th, my son comes home and proceeds to come in the bedroom and toss the paper in my lap. He said, "Here, Mama gave this to me today at school." It was an actual search warrant, first-degree murder search warrant, with 20 children's names listed on it, their personal information, the school they go to, and their demographics, black male, black female, their age and whatnot. So I called him back in the room. What's going on? What happened? Well, he said he was pulled out of class by admin and taken to an office where there was a detective there. The detective proceeded to ask for his electronics, his cell phone, his watch or whatnot. Asked him questions about this certain party, how'd he got there, so on and so forth. So my son being 16, not knowing that this search warrant is a big deal, I decided to get a hold of the detective on the search warrant. Called him, couldn't get a hold of him, called the police department, they sent an email, he contacts me. I had concerns with the fact that this is a search warrant and you listed all 20 of these babies on this search warrant instead of giving each child their own individual warrant just for safety precautions. My second thing was the fact that he passed these out to kids at school like it was a flyer for Spirit Week. Okay, this is a whole search warrant for first-degree murder. Okay, kids that lied to their parents about going to the party did not even take these search warrants home to their parents. I was so irate, I posted this to get a hold of parents to see if they knew what was going on, if they knew what this was. I had many parents reach out to me and ask me, why's my kids posted on here? I said, it's a search warrant. What kind of search warrant? I said, first degree murder. Well, when did this happen? At Topeka High today at school. They had no clue what had happened. I called the detective and I asked him, my first question was, why would you put them all on here and list them all instead of giving each child their own individual warrant? He told me it was easier this way. I asked him why, as a detective, I work a full-time job, I work 40 hours, I'm a taxpayer. Yes, I'm a single mother. I said, but why would you not come to my house and knock on my door? You had my address, I gave them all the information the night of the incident. Why would you not come to my house, knock on the door, and speak to me properly in front of my child? He said he had 9 students at Topeka High. It was easier to go to Topeka High and do a cattle call for these children. They called these kids in, they're scared, it's the police. They had no idea what their rights were, what the law was. They confiscated their phones. They asked them questions. I asked him, I said, these kids, they had no adult there with him. He proceeded to tell me why I didn't question him. I just asked him filler conversation. Filler conversation. I asked my son, well, what did he ask you? He asked him questions about how he got there, who was at the party, which is questioning, but these kids, you're put in a way where the kids did not know. So on and so forth. We got together with some of the parents and found out one of the babies actually had
Again, that's your limit, 4 minutes.
Okay. Can I have more time, please?
I'll allow you 1 more minute.
Okay, 1 more minute. We'll make it quick. I contacted the school as well to see what the policy was. Nobody got back with me. So I looked up myself and found the policy on Topeka Public Schools websites. That said, if the police are at the school, first of all, they should have done it outside school hours and knocked on my door like they would if it was Washburn Rural or Shawnee Heights. But they did not. Then also in here it says, school officials will make a reasonable effort to notify the parent prior to the investigation. I was not notified prior or after at all that my child was on this search warrant for first-degree murder. The ball was totally dropped, and I feel totally disrespected, as well as a lot of parents feel totally disrespected because there was no care or concern. No one came to our house to let us know this happened. They did it behind our backs. We felt slighted, and then after the fact, to not get any information from admin or the detective. So this is something that I'm trying to, like I said, I've spoken with a lot of parents, and I'm speaking on behalf of all of these parents that are upset that this has happened to our children. That's my time.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Thank you for your comments. Sir.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Keely Addington. Yeah.
Good evening. Well, that's no surprise, more police misconduct. The last line of the Pledge of Allegiance, with liberty and justice for all. Justice for all? Everyone except for Dylan Wallstrom, Taylor Lowry, they're excluded in this? I find it exceptionally funny that Mrs. Lassiter was turned away from speaking with the Topeka police chief due to conflict of interest on a case, yet the officer who executed Dylan by shooting him 9 times in the head is being protected because he has a family member at the sheriff's department. I'm not here today to request that you release this officer's name because we know it. I know that that won't happen if it's up to you guys. I want to remind you all the Kansas statute for accessory to murder or accomplice liability. Under Kansas law, which you are all to uphold, any person is criminally responsible for a crime committed by another if they intentionally aid, abet, advise, hire counsel, or procure the other person to commit said crime. Kansas Statute 22-2607, assisting another to avoid prosecution. This law applies to anyone who knowingly harbors, conceals, or aids another person who has committed or been charged with a crime with intent that such person shall avoid or escape arrest or prosecution. Now, I hope you all as city employees are qualified enough to understand that you all, by choosing not to hold this officer accountable, that you're also guilty of murder. While we are all on the subject of qualifications, why are we spending taxpayer money on outside attorneys for the city? Isn't that the interim city attorney's job? Does he need his hand held by a real attorney? If so, what are we paying his salary for? Why don't we cut out the middleman and save the money and just pay the attorney he hires to do his job? Instead of wasting millions of dollars hiring outside the city for someone else to do it for you. Topeka deserves better than this group of unqualified criminals who are using our taxpayer dollars to cover up their outrageous misuse of funds and power, which is also another Kansas statute, 21-6004. In case none of you knew that. We the people of Topeka, Kansas, under another Kansas state statute I'm sure none of you know, 60-1205, forfeiture of office, request that all of you step down for willingly neglecting your duties and violating every single moral turpitude law. And in case moral turpitude is another concept you guys don't understand, it means ethical. Shame on all of you for having the audacity to stand and pledge your allegiance to our flag. I also find it incredibly laughable that the Law Enforcement Center feels it needs a fence and to propose that it gets paid for by the taxpayers that they're actively killing. Thank you. You guys have a good day and have a holiday that you all deserve.
Justin Spies, is that correct?
Okay, my name is Dr. Justin Spies. When I signed up to speak here this evening, I got an email back from the clerk with the rules for the general public comment, and it said that litigation is not allowed to be discussed here. What do you guys mean by litigation? Can you define that? As part of a federal civil rights lawsuit I filed on December 11, 2025 against the Topeka Shawnee County Public Library, I included a sworn statement regarding an additional unlawful detainment and arrest by Topeka PD and my subsequent horrific treatment by the Shawnee County Department of Corrections while I was held in jail. On September 8, 2025, I was unlawfully arrested inside the Topeka Police Station by Assistant Chief of Police Major Russ Klump because I exercised my First Amendment right to record TPD conducting their official duties, which is allowed. He said I didn't have official police business, and because of that, I had to leave. Because I didn't leave when he said I had to, he and TPD then unlawfully arrested me for, quote, disobeying a lawful police order. Criminalizing my constitutionally protected activities in this way is a violation of my First, Fourth, and 14th Amendment rights. I'm still facing that criminal charge. I recorded the entire incident and is available online. I was then taken to the Shawnee County Jail where I was forcibly stripped naked and held overnight in an isolation cell on, quote, suicide watch, although I never gave any indication to anyone while in custody. This was done in an unlawful attempt to coerce and punish me for not answering the jail's non-identifying questions. There will be further future lawsuits coming against the City of Topeka, Topeka PD, and Shawnee County Department of Corrections based on those unlawful actions, and so the statement is included in the library lawsuit to establish that defendants' actions were part of a broader course of viewpoint discrimination and retaliatory enforcement carried out against me by the library, TPD, and the Shawnee County Department of Corrections, and further evidence of a municipal policy or custom of targeting my expressive conduct and equal protection. I don't have enough time to read the entire statement here, so I'm going to read some parts of it regarding the horrific treatment I was subjected to by the Shawnee County Department of Corrections. Dr. Spies fully cooperated with the intake procedure except for questions exceeded identifying information. Staff asked for his name, date of birth, and address, which he provided. He also provided his mugshot. He declined to answer additional questions beyond identification and stated that he did not believe he was legally required to answer non-identifying questions. Staff informed Dr. Spies that answering all intake questions was necessary for processing. He stated he was willing to answer all identifying questions but not discretionary questions. No staff member told him what statute or regulation required him to answer discretionary questions. No staff member told him he was a suicide risk. No staff member told him he exhibited any behavior consistent with self-harm. He stood calmly at the intake counter. Immediately after Dr. Spies declined to answer non-identifying questions at intake on September 8, 2025, a jail nurse stated in a raised and agitated tone, quote, he can take his ass to suicide watch then, making it clear that his silence, not any safety concern, was the basis for the action. The nurse's statement was made in the presence of multiple corrections officers and was treated by staff as an instruction to begin punitive measures against him. The timing and wording of the nurse's statement communicated a direct cause and effect relationship. His refusal to answer questions would result in his placement on suicide watch. Officer Bell told staff that, quote, bond is stopped unless he answers, explicitly conditioning Dr. Speace's release on compelled verbal responses to non-identifying intake questions. Bell's statement was made while he stood in the booking area surrounded by multiple officers with no mental health screen or safety concern having been raised. Staff informed him that he would be kept in a locked cell because, quote, he didn't answer our questions, expressly identifying silence, not any observation of danger as the reason for confinement. At no time did any staff member state that he had expressed suicidal thoughts, appeared suicidal, or displayed any behavior suggesting a suicidal harm risk. While Dr. Speece was still at the intake area, multiple officers were summoned, including Sergeant White. White approached from a back hallway and staff deferred to him as a supervising decision maker. White told him, a cell has been prepared for you. Dr. Speece asked what that meant. White stated he was going on suicide watch, and I asked, for what reason? White told me, because you were not compliant with answering questions. White said, you can go voluntarily or you will be forced. Dr. Speece stated he did not consent. Can I get another minute here, please?
You're not out of time yet.
White turned to Officer Bell and said, get the camera. Bell retrieved a handheld camera and activated it. Multiple staff members began converging, including Officers Lilo, Stanley, Leahy, and several staff in medical attire. White then commanded Dr. Speece, put your hands behind your back. He complied immediately. White ordered, turn around. And he turned around at once. White then shouted louder, turn around. Dr. Speece responded, I am turned around, but White continued escalating. He perceived White's escalating tone as an attempt to manufacture a false narrative of noncompliance. White approached him aggressively, and Bell continued filming. White then violently handcuffs plaintiff's hands behind his back.
Mr. Speece,
Yeah.
the timer is
Can I get that extra?
functioning correctly.
Can I get
Your
that
time is up.
Can I get an extra minute?
No, thank you.
Why not? You gave an extra minute to the first lady that spoke.
No, thank you.
Is that you don't want to hear this anymore? Is that what this is?
Your time is up, sir.
Why can't I have an extra minute? Truth hurts.
Your time is up.
Truth hurts. Coming, Chief. Lawsuit's coming. Don't delete that.
Addiction and incarceration
What do you think of the public comments? Are you the chief, please?
along with every step of the way.
Do you have any thoughts on the number of people coming in
I've gotten to know John.
talking about the police violence?
For the last year or so, and
I do.
this man
Excuse me one
is a
second.
great ambassador for the city of Topeka, and I felt like it was a great thing to recognize him on the way up, because a lot of people don't get recognized until they reach the top. And a person like John's situation is trying to find all the positives in his life and move on from the past that can trip a lot of people up. To me, it's a very positive thing. We had a going away party, retirement party for the mayor last Friday, and as I put it, I don't see it as going away or retirement. I see it as he's just going to go to unpaid. He's going to still be involved in the city, I think, very much, just not getting paid for it. Same with Councilman Dover. These are two men I've looked up to a lot in the last 4 years. Councilman Dover was one of the first people to reach out to me and kind of gauge where I was at, what I thought, and all that 4 years ago, and help open my eyes to a lot of things right from the beginning. The mayor took me under his wing because he was my predecessor. He wanted to make sure things in the district continuing to go that we were working on. So there's two people I greatly admire and respect, especially for helping me out my first 4 years. And then this has been a wild ride. This 4 years has been amazing. I'm glad I got a second term. I remember standing in that corner right over there, and Councilman Ortiz and Councilman Everson had to calm me down because I was so emotional at that moment. I had reached this point after fighting so long and so hard to get here to help make an impact on Topeka. This has been nothing but great this last 4 years, and I'm glad I have another 4 years to go. And
Did you have anything to do with the decision to go to the school to get to the kids?
with me out for a little bit. She made that public
What do you
a couple
mean?
days ago.
We heard parents here tonight talking about the fact that they had no knowledge of a warrant, and you guys were picking up kids at the school in groups with a group warrant.
She wants to talk to me. Talk about it. I'm not the investigator.
Well, you're the chief of police. I mean, is
I'm not gonna go
that
into
something that's common though, that you would just go behind parents' backs?
It's not common to have a child killed, is it?
Did 10 or 12 of those kids commit the killing?
I'm not going to do this here in chambers. I don't want to disrupt.
Oh, well, disrupted all kinds of stuff. I'm just curious why the police department would do a sweeping warrant like that with minors and not include the parents.
There's a lot of questions I have. She's part of it. She's reading Topeka policy, 501 policy, not my policy. So I don't.
So you had nothing to do with that,
I
right?
can't answer.
Is that what you're saying?
I can't answer all the questions.
So you're going to blow that off saying you had nothing to do with that because she quoted somebody else's policy. I'm asking you questions about what I heard in here in a city council meeting about Topeka police. She said Topeka police served warrants and took a whole bunch of their kids in all at once behind the parents' backs. Didn't let parents know. I want to know what the chief has to say about that.
I'm not addressing these with you.
You want to address it with me?
Hey, I've been over here asking this chief of police over here about these warrants that you were talking about. He seems like he's willing to talk to you about it, but he refuses to talk to me. Do you want to come over and engage?
She'll talk to you about it. After?
There's still a meeting going on.
Well, you sending emails back here, chit-chatting with the dude. I'm just back here trying to get answers for the parents. I didn't even know any of this stuff was going on.
What we want to keep in mind for the various sectors that we have.
I'm just, this is the first time I've been to a Topeka meeting. I've done a lot of meetings in other places. Gotcha. You got people coming in upset about some stuff going on.
Sometimes, yeah.
Well, I'm talking about with you guys, brother.
Oh, sometimes that happens, yeah.
Is that being handled?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would say, I didn't hear what anybody had to say, but...
Well, we got a couple kids shot over here. And we got a department sending out mass stuff with all kinds of kids' names on it and dragging them all in at once instead of going through their parents.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I'm going to be blowing the lid off of this story because your chief over here doesn't want to talk about it with me. And he's been blowing off these parents until I start quizzing and go ahead and connect the two. And now the chief wants to talk to them because he don't want to talk to me. What I heard in here is that the department sent out warrants on that murder and put all these kids' names on one warrant, took it to the school, had the school round them all up behind the parents' backs. And I'm telling you right now, Lieutenant, this is I don't know you from Adam, but if you'd have done that with my kid, can you imagine?
Well, like I said,
think about your kid.
I literally have no idea what you're talking about.
So I understand.
I can't really comment on what you're talking about.
But you're a lieutenant in this department. Yeah. You have some sway. I'm telling you.
We wouldn't say that, but
you have some sway. Don't pull my chain. You know what would happen if they did that to your kid. I know what would happen if they did that to my kid. We shouldn't be doing it to anybody's kid. And the fact that they pulled them all in and did it at the school without the parents' knowledge, that's some surreptitious shit that costs you guys on the street. It costs you guys credibility on the street every single time that stuff happens.
I would say if you want to dig into that and find out what the facts are, there's probably some good reason behind whatever's going on. I can't first thing about any of this.
I can't get with a good reason behind going behind parents' backs. So, like I said, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Hey, good luck in press for him. I'm gonna send her an email.
Okay, well, thank you so very much.
I didn't know anything about that going on when I heard you talk. I had questions.
I didn't have enough time to get into the meat and potatoes, but thank
But
you.
you stay on and you guys, don't give up. Justice takes a lot of time.
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
I don't know these people. I just heard what was going on.
Certainly going to be different.
The only question I have for you. Why wouldn't you take the proactive step to go to her instead of having somebody like me have to put you together?
I was going to do that after.
Were you?
We're still on duty here. So
Always, you
I'm
always.
going to force my hand.
How much time have you had to reach out to her?
Younger guys.
Though she existed till today. But once reached out to me.
And these parents of these kids with this search warrant have no idea who they were? Do you heard what she said about all the search warrant with all the kids' names on it? But you, the chief, had no idea who those parents were? You acting like you really didn't know who she was? I asked you a legitimate question. Why wouldn't you proactively reach out to her and try to take care of the issues with your department rather than letting somebody like me connect you to at a meeting? I didn't know anything about that situation until I was here tonight listening. And it's shameful. Why wouldn't you already know who she is?
I'm such a traditional person. Separation is tough for me.
Chief?
So you guys leaving is gonna be tough, but I think.
Did you not already know who she was?
No.
You didn't? Why not? Her kid was swept up by your department.
We're done here.
Why are we done? Why are we done?
I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
But if you
You're not
didn't,
involved.
but you should have known who that was. That was a parent of a child that you swept up into your department with a mass warrant that she described to everybody in here. So why wouldn't you know who that parent is?
I'm not much of a Christmas guy.
I think I've said it twice. I'm not gonna keep repeating myself.
I'm asking why wouldn't you know who that parent is? We've already settled on the fact that you don't know who that parent is. And that's shameful as the chief of police who swept up those kids in that warrant. I'm asking now, why don't you know who that parent is?
Thank you, Mayor. Normally I'd say no comments, Mayor, but I guess tonight I'm gonna make up.
Can you answer to the citizens of Topeka why you wouldn't do your job and find out who those parents were?
I need to make a list.
I don't think I need to speak to you. I don't
Before
think
you swept them up with warrants? I don't have an attention span for what?
good intentions behind this.
Good intentions?
Yeah, if
You don't
wanna-
know
if you
anything
wanna talk
about
to
my
me, schedule,
intentions.
schedule a meeting with me.
Schedule a meeting?
Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna do this ambush thing.
Ambush thing. But I didn't know you from Adam. I came here to this meeting for other purposes, and I'm listening to these people talk about what happened to their children while I see this chief of police sitting in the back of the room having no affect, no emotion at all.
You don't know what I've seen.
I had to ask them who you were, if you were the chief. I didn't know who you were. So don't talk to me about my intent. What I'm talking to you about is your police officers doing things to these kids, and you acting like they don't even exist when they're in here. Right? And I'd just like to know why you wouldn't proactively reach out to those parents.
You don't know what I've done or what I haven't.
It's obvious to me that you had not said word one to that parent. Why is that? Why was her kid wrapped up in some police BS at a school, hidden from his parents, and you still hadn't talked to that parent? Why is that?
Most of what they wanted to see, I know I didn't.
But you can ask the school district these same questions.
I may,
A lot of the policies she read were not mine, they were theirs.
but you are the one that swept up those kids. Your department is the one that swept up those kids, correct?
We didn't sweep anyone.
In that warrant. Who filed that warrant? Topeka PD, right? And it had all kinds of kids' names on it, right? Why didn't you have a separate warrant for each kid? Laziness? That's a disturbing disclosure of kids' information to other people. Disturbing. And then not contacting their parents? Your body cam's not recording, by the way.
And that includes,
I've been around Axon enough to know.
believe it or not, Mike Lesser and Tony Emerson. And,
But why wouldn't you inform those parents or go through those parents to deal with this? Do you view the parents as a part of the problem?
Next to me for 4 years, what a great councilwoman she was.
I'm asking you, are the parents part of the conspiracy of the crime that you were trying to uncover?
I may end up doing an Emerson. Mayor, I think everything's pretty much been said. I'll just say,
I'm shocked.
you.
I'm shocked that I would come to a Topeka meeting, the first time I've ever been to this meeting, and hear these people saying the things that they were saying about your department. With you sitting in the room.
Especially after he's been
And then to find out that you've not tried to mitigate any of this with anybody?
professor and see what he thinks.
Not tried to reach out to the parents before now? I mean, that's really a problem, man. That's a problem with the department.
I've enjoyed
You guys need to treat the people like they're your valuable resource. They're your most valuable resource, right?
I want to thank Tanya.
How many times do you think those people are going to want to come to you and talk to you about the criminal activity that's happening around their house when they see the example of how it was handled here?
Always there.
You've never met me before.
No, I haven't.
You read up about me
But-
and actually see
But
what I care about.
what I've seen tonight, and what I've noticed from your affect here in dealing with this, tells me a lot, Chief.
So
It
this
tells me a
is
lot.
really the third
You don't know
time.
me. You
And
can't
the
judge my
fact, and the
affect.
fact, do what?
You don't know me. You can't judge by what.
Oh, come on,
Sitting
Chief.
here in the corner.
You guys judge people on a highway traffic stop after 20 seconds. How are you going to prejudge what I know and what I don't? Come on, let's not do that. My issue revolves around that woman and the fact that she had no police contact. She had nobody coming to her explaining what happened to her.
We're going to examine that.
I know. I hope you do. I shouldn't have said I know. I hope you do. But my point is she has to come to a city council meeting and announce it in front of God and everybody that Topeka Police Department has turned their backs on me and not said a fucking word to me about arresting my kid. If I were you at that point, you might have wanted to step up and answer some questions to the council.
You can't do that.
You can't? Oh, sure, there's a lot of things you can do, Chief, that you may not realize. But at the point that that woman was talking about your actions and the actions of your department, you could have gotten involved in that conversation and even asked her, hey, come to me tonight after the meeting, let's talk. You could have done that in the open in the public and made a good impression, but instead you sat back here and said nothing.
It's really folks that have given a lot of their career.
What do you think that says to the public, man?
To do this job day in, day out. Those are the folks.
We're going in circles. I'm not sure where to go.
No, we're not actually going in circles, Chief. I'm lecturing
I
you
need to
about
stand up. Can you-
dealing with the public and making sure that the public knows that their police chief cares what's going on instead of just
Still
trying to
running a
hide
meeting
things.
here. Can we stop?
Sure.
Just say
You want to go out there and talk, whatever?
Let's go out there. Let's go out there and chat. Got all kinds of backup showing up. Did he call these? No?
I'm going to handle this, and I'm not going to do it this way.
I'm talking to your chief. I don't need your help.
Well, he can stay.
Oh, really? Do you need help?
No, he can stay. He works for me now.
Okay.
We're going to handle this. I've already handled it.
You've already handled it. How?
She's got my email.
Right.
I sent her an email, set up an appointment.
Okay.
She was satisfied with that.
I'm not, though, Chief. I'm not satisfied with the fact that it took a woman confronting you. It took me confronting you in this city hall room.
There are a lot of
On
things that
behalf
are
of that
said
other woman, how many of those other parents have you actually had contact with?
I'm not getting into
None. None, right?
Okay.
That's the only parent you've had contact with. And the only reason you had contact with that parent was because I forced you into it. God damn it, Chief, do a better job. Your people deserve better.
Okay. Are we done?
I expect you to reach out to every single one of those parents over the course of the next week. And I'm going to be doing my own follow-up investigation to find out if you have.
Okay. Are we done?
Yeah, we're done. You're dismissed.
So are you.